All right, this next set of notes is going to go into your PBS course file, your PBS composition notebook. So go ahead and turn to where you have 2 pages side by side that are clean, and let's add some information. So on the left-hand side, you are going to add your blood components foldable, and make sure I would go ahead and label the outside of that picture, label those items. On the inside, make sure you have both names, the common name, the scientific name for that. Make sure you understand what each of those components are and what their function are. Then have some information about blood spatter, since that's what we're looking at now. Passive blood spatter is when there are just drips of blood. If there is a transfer blood spatter, that's a smear. So there is blood on something, and whatever that item is contacts a non-bloody surface and it smears the blood. Impact spatter is when a force comes in contact with blood and spatters it due to the force. We'll be doing some lab testing. So we need to know the difference between presumptive, confirmatory, positive controls, and negative controls. Presumptive testing is testing that's used to narrow down or identify a group or a general classification. So, for example, a Kastle-Meyer test is a presumptive test. It's just to say, is that red substance, is it blood or not blood? So it's not going to tell us whose blood it is. It's not going to tell us the blood type or anything like that. It's just going to tell us, is that red stuff actually blood? Confirmatory testing can be used to identify a specific substance, identify a chemical, or confirm a presumptive result. A lot of times when I think of confirmatory testing, we're going to use more expensive machinery. We're probably going to look at the chemical composition. So I know that this is a toxin, but exactly what toxin is it and what kind of chemicals does it have in it to make it toxic? When we do our test, an example of confirmatory testing, a blood typing test. It confirms if it's blood. It can also confirm what blood type it is. It can't go so far as to say whose blood it is, but there's a really good reason for that we'll talk about in class. In order to set up our Kastle-Meyer, our blood test, to see if this is blood or not, we're going to involve a positive control and a negative control. A positive control is when you are testing a substance that you know for sure is going to give you a positive test result. The reason why we do this is so that you can see what a positive result looks like. Testing a substance known to give a positive test result, so you can see what a positive result looks like. We're also going to test negative controls. So this is when we test a substance that we know for sure is not blood. It's going to for sure give us a negative test result. And once again, this is so that we can see what a negative test result looks like. Testing a substance known to give a negative test result, so you can see what a negative result looks like.